class areas that I came from can achieve their dreams and change their lives.
You're not killing these people.
Orchid sponsors darts on Sky Sports.
The curtain comes up on the
at Ali tonight.
Fallon Sherrock has become
the first woman to beat a man at the World Darts Championship.
That is the most amazing leg of darts you will ever see in your life.
Do me a favour. Are you taking the mick?
But Luke Humphrey showed last year against Joe Cullen, his Ricardo Pietreczko. He won't shy away from a scrap, and I think he'll be okay.
Let's show you the second quarter then. John, this is the Luke Littler quarter. He is the tournament favourite, of course, who could actually... face Fallon Sherrock in the second round. I feel like the darts world would sort of implode if that happened.
Yeah, two very famous dart players going playing each other would be. It's Luke Littler's to win.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
It is definitely there. I think Rob Cross, if he's in form, he seems to like it here, I think. And he's been such good form most of the year. But when he plays Luke, he's either in it or not in it, it seems like. If he's in it like he was at the Grand Prix, maybe he can make it interesting.
Let's show you the bottom half then, starting with the third quarter. This has got the world number 2, Michael Smith, and you could argue that he struggled for a consistent level this year, really. You've got the likes of Chris Dobie, Josh Rock, both had good seasons so far, haven't really produced on the big TV stages. Other big names, the likes of Gerwin Price, a former world champ, of course. Maybe an unseeded player to keep an eye on is Wessel Nyman. Laura, is this the quarter of opportunity?
I think so, absolutely. I think this is, to me, of all the quarters, one of probably the most open, and I think everyone in that group is going to be quite aware of that as well. As you say, Michael Smith perhaps hasn't had the performances at the level that we would expect from him. You've got Joe Cullen in there as well. I think everyone's going to look at that and think, I could do this. I think I've got a good chance here. It's going to be tough, but I can actually see some runs maybe even from the likes of Josh Rock, who for me has just, he's improved throughout this year. He's picked up a TV title, and I think he's quite an exciting player.
This the last quarter then, the Michael van Gerwen quarter, Mark. Obviously is world number 3. Picked up 4 titles this season, no major titles though, and it's also got Gary Anderson in it. He's actually the favourite to come through this whole half. Can you see why?
On current form, I agree. I think, particularly at the Grand Slam, that game with Luke Littler was incredible, and the way he dealt with Jan van Veen as well. So Gary Anderson will come here confident, rarely lets himself down at the World Championship as well. So he's rightly the favourite. But what I think favours Michael van Gerwen, that draw is okay. It'll allow him to play himself into a little bit of form where there's that potential clash with Gary Anderson. But there's big names in there. Ross Smith will want to prove a point, Dave Chisnell, so could be wide open.
John, you feel like there'll be surprises along the way?
There always are.
There always
are, yeah. And I don't think there'll be as big surprises. A lot of names in there. The third quarter we saw there, a lot of guys out of form. A lot of really great talents, but out of form. So the seeds could be tumbling rather heftily. There's so many good new unseeded players here. I think that, there's going to be a lot of carnage amongst seeding. But the ones at the very top, they're going to be very hard to displace, I think. They'll be pretty solid.
Yeah, we'll chat about some of the favourites then, but to talk you through some of the outsiders who might be looking to cause a carnage and to spoil the party, Abby and Dan are in the fan zone and going to talk you through some of those. Abby.
Yeah, with Mike De Decker and Richie Edhouse picking up their first major titles this year, 21 different winners on the floor, and a number of other players having breakthrough campaigns. This really could be the standout World Championship of all time. Dan Dawson, when you look at the players involved who haven't even got a tour card, the likes of Wesley Plaisier, Connor Scott, it just shows how beneficial the PDC system is, doesn't it?
Yeah, the professional darts system is all about giving players opportunities. Now, the tour card holders, the 128 full-time pros, they get loads of opportunities guaranteed, but there are opportunities for guys like you mentioned, Connor Scott, Wesley Plaisier, and if they take them, they can find themselves here at Ali Pali and with a chance to do special things. Wesley Plaisier has won a title as a non-tour card holder this year and reached a couple of finals. Connor Scott's reached a final and just, 2-3 weeks ago, found himself in a big TV quarter-final at the Players' Championship finals. There are opportunities there, and there are no opportunities bigger than what we're going to see at Ali Pali over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, and when it comes to international qualifiers, we've got a whole host from Asia, but Nico Springer is one of the standouts. He finished second on the Development Tour Order of Merit, and he could well be involved in the standout tie in the opening round against Scott Williams.
Yeah, that looks really, really good, doesn't it? Scott Williams, we know, semi-finalist last year, a showman, an entertainer, but Nico Springer should not be underestimated. I agree with you, like there are so many Asian players I'm really excited to see, particularly the lads from the Philippines. But Nico Springer, talking to some of the pundits ahead of this year's Buddy Power World Championship, they cannot say enough good things about Nico Springer. They think he can beat Scott Williams. They think he can beat Rob Cross, former champion, in the next round, and maybe go on a run to the last 16, the quarter-finals even. So Nico Springer, of those international qualifiers, is certainly one to keep an eye on.
And Wessel Nyman, we all saw what he's capable of at the Grand Slam, of course, but finished top of the Development Tour Order of Merit by almost £10,000. Never won a game on the Ali Pali stage, but he's still 7th favourite to go all the way and win the tournament.
Yeah, look, Wessel's an example of the young players. Like, we talked about the non-tour card holders, we've talked about the international qualifiers, but the youth, the devastatingly exciting talent that's in the youth system, Wessel Nyman is a fabulous example of it. You mentioned the Grand Slam, he was unbelievable, didn't win a game, but he's the latest off a production line. You'll see one tonight, Keen Barry. Keen Barry is one of those first really young kids to come through the Junior Darts Corporation. We've had Josh Rock turn up, Jan van Veen, obviously Luke Littler last year, and Wessel Nyman. He's got a real chance to do some damage. You say that the bookmakers reckon that he could be a real force. He might win the whole thing. I'm not sure about that, but all of those guys have an opportunity, if not to win it, to change their lives and have a real say in who does win the Sid Waddell Trophy this year.
Yeah, the two Lukes are obviously favourites, but there are a number of players who could cause a stir. But the question I want answered is, are we going to see Dan Dawson dancing to the rhythm of the heart?
I think that's going to be a no, if we know Dan. Right, here's a little look at our predictions for the tournament. Well, we're not all in sync, are we? John, you've gone for Gary Anderson to lift the title. I know you're an old romantic, you are, aren't you?
Well, I really like how he's playing, how he played at the Grand Slam. I think he's got the game, he's got the experience here, he likes it here. He knows how to He knows how to handle the set play very well. Gary Anderson, firing like he has been on the floor the last couple of years, and now he seems to be doing it on the big stage, and this is the biggest stage of all. I think he's going to handle where he is in the draw very well.
You and I have had the same thinking, Mark. We're probably going to get a lot of grief on X picking Michael van Gerwen as the runner-up.
Yeah. Look, his form's been mixed, hasn't it? And but what I think will help him is, I think his first round draw is quite favourable. I think the next round is okay as well. So when that potential clash with Gary Anderson comes, I think he'll be ready. He can play himself in some form, because he will have been practicing, because the performance against Ian White, the Players' Championship Finals, wasn't good enough. So he'll have worked hard from there. And I think Michael's going to relish the challenge of having to prove himself again.
Exactly my thinking as well. What a stage to do it on.
Great minds,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You saw that QR code right there, by the way. If you do want to pick your champion, because we're going to be taking a look at those throughout the tournament, we do want you to get involved as well. Let's just remind you of what you can look forward to tonight. And 3 first-round ties, and then that one from the second round. Up first, Thibaut Tricol goes head-to-head with Joe Comito. Winner there will face Luke Humphries later on tonight. Then Jermaine Watamina, who's been playing the darts of his life, goes head-to-head with Stefan Belmont. Stefan Belmont, whatever happens here tonight, he's making a little piece of history, the first Swiss player to feature at the PDC World Darts Championship. Then Kim Huybrecht meets Keane Barry. Winner of that one will play Gerwyn Price in the second round. And then Luke Humphries will face the winner of our first match, our first second round tie of this year's World Darts Championship. Who do you think will come through that first one then? Because Joe Comito, the man from Australia, making his debut here, one of 14 debutants at this year's World Championship. But for Thibaut Tricol, he made his debut last year, won his tour card back in January. It feels like he's had a really solid season.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And for me, I think it's, looking at the averages that they've posted and the arenas that they've played in, for me, it's going to go the way of the Frenchman. Obviously, you don't know, it's that first game. You get all the nerves. You're opening up the show for the year. But, yeah, I just think the Thibaut Tricol is going to be maybe a bit too strong.
Yeah, there he is. It is tough, that, isn't it, when you think about, you're the curtain raiser of the whole championship.
Yeah, but when the draw was done, at least he knew when he was playing for everyone else, didn't he?
That's true.
Along with Luke. But yeah, for Thibaut, he's got to use experience. He played here last year, won a game. He fell short against Rob Cross. His experience to get him over the line here, get him the crack at Luke Humphries. That'll be the priority tonight. If he can get anything against Luke, massive bonus, but just get that first game won.
John, we were talking about some of the party spoilers earlier. Is Jermaine Watamina one of the maybe more dangerous unseeded players in the draw?
Well, certainly. I mean, he's always been a powerful scorer, and he's a very quick player. And when you're a powerful scorer that plays quick like that, it could really get into an opponent's head. And now that he seems to be really finishing well to go with that in his game, he's taking on all opponents and has a really good chance of beating anybody, in my mind. But if they're not watching what he's doing, if they're not taking him seriously, he could cause casualties.
Yeah, seems to be a man just full of confidence at the moment.
Yeah, and you can understand why, can't you? He's obviously reached a major final. He's just one of those players, as you said, he kind of fell off in terms of his standard for a while. And he worked on it, and he's come back, and he's just stronger. And as we say, he's playing better. But as you mentioned, the best darts of his life.
Yeah, is Kim Huybrecht against Keane Barry one of the harder ties to call tonight? Because Kim Huybrecht's unseeded this time around, kind of been a little bit inconsistent this year, whereas Keane Barry, we've seen some good stuff at times. Yeah,
it's the trickiest one of the 4 ties tonight for me. But I just think Kim Huybrecht, especially what happened here last year, he didn't perform, he didn't win a leg, he lost to Richard Veenstra in straight sets, so he'll be keen to make amends this year. He's played okay the back end of the year. There was an issue with his shoulders, we missed a bit of the season, so just to get here, and I think he'll be fired up, and I think he'll get the better of Keane Barry.
And John, especially after having him here in the studio and chatting to him tonight, how much are you looking forward to seeing Luke Humphries get his title defence started?
I really am. Of course, that's the feature match of the night, having our world champion get us underway, hopefully, successfully. And I think that he's, talking to him, he seems in a perfect mood, perfect frame of mind. And I think it'll be a pretty outstanding match in performance.
Yeah, he seemed really relaxed, didn't he?
He did. And he wasn't... He said he wasn't nervous about the occasion. He said there's nerves for the game, but when he gets up there, he'll feel fine. He's looking forward to it. I think you've seen players come back and being a bit edgy as a defending champion. I think he's just looked forward. He's cherishing the memories, isn't he? He knows what he achieved here the last time he's here, and he's just going to run with it. And why wouldn't he? He's been so successful this year.
Here we go then. Well, the players are ready. You can see the fans are still trickling in at the moment. But this, the first of 95 matches over the course of the next few weeks. Sit back and enjoy the darts.
Would you wanna feel? Could I be this close to you?
The eye on the prize, the biggest prize in world darts.
They are the best in the world, time and time again. What a match!
On the ball. Oh my!
And sensation at the Alexandra Palace.
Up to #1 in the world.
World #1 can last a couple of months. World champion is forever.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You've joined us live on Sky Sports from the amazing Alexandra Palace, London. Hello and a very special welcome to the Paddy Power World Darts Championship, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players from Harvey, Australia, taking part in his World Championship debut, a World Series qualifier. Ladies and gentlemen, the water boy, Joe Comito! Ladies and gentlemen, from France, a World Cup quarter-finalist, taking part in his second World Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the French #1, the French touch. Ladies and gentlemen, Tricot Thibault.
Here we go then. First match of this year's World Darts Championship. We have Thibault Tricot going ahead with Joe Comito. Well, Tricot made history last year, became the first Frenchman to feature at the PDC World Darts Championship. Actually won his first match last year on his the second round. Again here, up against Comito, makes his World Championship debut himself this year, here at Ali Pali, having qualified through the Dart Players Australia Pro Tour. Well, we've told you already, but in case you need reminding, winner here is set for a second round showdown with the reigning world champ, Luke Humphries, and that is going to be our last match of the opening night. Right then, for the first time this evening, let's head to the commentary box and join Mark Webster, and good evening to Dan Dawson.
Good evening. This is Ali Pali. This is the World Darts Championship, and this is as big as it gets. The talking is done. Now it's time for the darts. Joe Comito has never experienced anything like this. He's had 3 games on telly, all in the World Series. He's won a grand total of 1 leg. But Thibault Tricot, the first Frenchman to reach the PDC World Championship, first Frenchman to win a game at the PDC World Championship, was, of course, a brilliant competitor in the WDF system, reached the final of their World Championship as well. He has created history for himself and his country, the leading light from France, and it'll be a heavy favourite to see off Comito in this one, Webber.
Yeah, he will be, and
The fact it's Luke Humphries as well, the incentive's massive for both these players, and a crack at the defending champion on the opening night. Double your prize money as well. But yeah, I'm with you there. Thibaut Tricol, if he plays his game, he should be comfortable here, and if he can get it done with a minimum of first stand, it just gives him that bit of time. It's always tricky playing a couple of matches on the same night.
How about this from Joe Comitar?
140.
Visibly frustrated. He's taught Joe in the build-up to this that it's all about confidence, and in qualifying for this, he won back-to-back titles on the Australian circuit. He had a brilliant end to their season. That's what's got him his spot at Ali Pali. And if he can summon up some of that stuff, where he played some solid darts to win those titles, he's going to cause problems for Thibaut.
Rob Cross, wo ihm vor allem die Checkout-Quote echt übel mitgespielt hat. 2 von 20 war er da auf die Doppel.
Thibaut letztes Jahr, glaube ich, als West Europe Qualifier dabei gewesen, wenn ich es noch richtig weiß. Also aus der Qualifikation, dieses Jahr als Tourcard-Holder mit über die PDC Pro Tour dabei. Also die Entwicklung ist da schon deutlich zu sehen. Deutlich, sehr deutlich sogar. So, Komito wird hier keinen Rebreak schaffen, zumindest jetzt noch nicht. 95 Rest, runter auf die 19.
Auch dieser Western European Qualifier ja in Kalka gespielt. Im letzten Jahr hat er sich durchgesetzt. Was in diesem Jahr, wer den Vorlauf schon mit angeschaut hat, Stefan Belmont aus der Schweiz, der auch heute hier sein Debüt geben wird. Der gewann den in diesem Jahr.
Ja, und obwohl dieser Western European Qualifier immer so als niederländisches Ding betrachtet wird, weil so viele starke Niederländer dabei sind, hat den seit 2 Jahren kein Niederländer mehr gewonnen. Genau. So, Rebreak-Chance für Komito über Tops. Ja.
Und jetzt die Möglichkeit auf Satz Nummer 1 für Thibaut Tricol. 18-2 auf Tops. Nee. Doppel 10. Ja, das ist bitter, was er da jetzt auslässt.
There is some Monday night football for you this week. Comes from the Vitality. Bournemouth host West Ham. You can see that at the usual time of 6:30 tomorrow. That is live for you on Sky Sports Premier League. Well, it is Sunday night darts here at the Palace, and Thibaut Tricol has just won the first set of this year's World Championship. But Joe Comito, well, he might be kicking himself because he had opportunities. Trouble on the doubles. That's been the problem for the Australian. Tricol leads our first round tie, 1-0 in a race to 3. Let's get back to the action and back to Mark and Dan.
Yeah, Joe Comito spitting feathers at the end of that first set. Had his chances, couldn't take them.
96.
Can he put that right here? This is a set where Tricol has the darts. The Frenchman knows just hold his throw. 2-0 up, happy days. Legs of darts to double, as you can see in that first set, was 3 apiece.
For Joe Comito, he was right to be frustrated. It's all well and good losing an opening set, but when you've had chances, you know your opponent's nowhere near his best. You feel you've missed a big opportunity. The beauty of set play, it just breaks down, and it's just got to regroup here. He's very animated, isn't he? And he's very visible with how he's feeling, particularly with the frustrated darts that he's thrown.
121.
What's it like as a player, Mark? I know you weren't in this situation where you were playing opening night, opening game with the defending champion waiting for you, but you've gone into matches where you know there's a big name waiting the winner. Is it difficult to banish that thought, or is it an incentive? What's it like knowing that there's that prize or opportunity waiting at the end of it?
Yeah, there's a bit of both, isn't there? You've just got to try and find the balance. But here, it's like I said, I've never played in this scenario, but this first game, minimum, just get to Humphries, isn't it, and then see what you can do. And first match on is a nervy occasion regardless, but you can see the nerves coming out here. But Tricol is just controlling it a little bit better than Joe Comito at the minute.
Thibaut has left himself double 11, but he's going to split it. That leaves double 6. It's not what he wanted, but it'll have to do. Double 3.
16.
Well, that is a mess.
Invited all sorts of problems here. Even if he returns, he may not. Oh, well. I was just going to say, at least he's not going to leave tops off the back of that. He's left nothing. And he's smiling, but he'll be frustrated inside. His eyes are lit up after that opening treble 19.
83.
Tricol's got to mop this mess up now.
Looks like he can use that, and does do very, very well in the end. Thibaut Tricol takes the opening leg of this second set. He's kind of getting away with things tonight. The whole first set, that leg there, this is not a polished performance from the French touch.
Could be invaluable. The money jumps from 7,500 to 15,000, which is big for Tricol. He's edging towards the top 64. He would have to get to round 4 if he wants to make the 64 of this tournament. But he's on course, Dan, isn't he? So, regardless of the stats, just win this game.
Yeah, and look, he's had a very solid year in a first year as a tour card holder. It doesn't look like he's going to drop off the tour come the end of next year. He's winning more games than he's losing on the professional circuit, which is the first
97.
French player to really make a mark. Not the first Frenchman to get on the tour. Jacques Labre did that, of course, his World Cup of Darts partner. But he's the first one to really make a mark in professional darts. I think he should be very satisfied with his work. But that will be satisfying for Joe Comito. The first max of the World Championship, and it's produced by the Aussie.
What a moment for Joe Comito. It's been a match filled with frustration so far, but he fires match number 1 of the 2025 World Championship. For him now, though, this has to lead into converting a leg.
39.
Couldn't keep the smile off his face until he threw one in the 1 segment.
95. Joey require 124.
Dan, it was interesting to hear Luke Humphries' his interview. It's related to what's going on in this game now. They're averaging below 80, and he actually said if they average 105, don't be intimidated if they may not do it again later. But on the flip, he actually said if they play poorly, it's probably just nerves, and they'll play better. He's prepared for whatever comes at him in the final game for one of these two.
86.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Luke was even watching or paying much attention to it in the back room. I think he'll be very much in his zone. Joe Comito leaves himself double 19. He's got a decision to make. Does he go for it or does he split? He splits to leave double 16. Next door for double 8.
22.
Well, he can't hit tops, and the other doubles aren't helping him out.
There's 12 missed at doubles now. 1 from 13, Joe Comito. And he could be in bother again here. Tricol just got to reset himself, drops the dart. But this for real breathing space in set 2 and the match. And he has that breathing space. Punishes more mistakes from the Aussie. And 1 leg away from a 2-set lead. And 1 set away, potentially, from a crack at the defending champ.
Well, Joe Comito must feel that this game is getting away from him, and it's not really down to Thibaut being brilliant. Comito has had darts to win the majority of legs. One leg he didn't get a dart to win because he missed a big number. It's kind of mistake strewn, this one.
56.
It's always what he's going to have a lot of regrets, Dan, if he doesn't turn this around, Joe Comito, isn't he? He's had the opportunities. 8% on the doubles is the reason why he's in all sorts of bother now.
Yeah, those World Series appearances, he's run into one of the stars of the sport, playing brilliantly, and he's got a home. Sometimes you've just got to take your medicine when you're up against the best players in the world. But this is a vulnerable-looking Thibaut Tricol, and this is about Joe Comito not taking his chances.
58.
And he might be allowing Thibaut to just eventually get into his stride. Which, if he does, Joe Comito's in real trouble, and this could be over quickly.
Tricol has got similarities to his first game last year against Mario van der Bohalen. He just was edgy, but he got over the line. He did drop a set. Actually succumbed to Rob Cross. Taking charge here now of the match, the Frenchman.
21.
Enough to leave a finish, but not really enough to worry Thibaut. Oh wow, double-double, and he's thrown the first one out the board and he perseveres.
I'm not sure about that. It looks like he's going to get away with it.
Joey require 151.
Well, at least he's had plenty of practice at throwing at double 18, Thibaut Tricol, as he returns, because he needs it again for a 2-set lead. Over to double 9. Not close.
Can be wild, Tricol, can't he, at times? When he misses, he can miss big. And then Joe. Getting frustrated. And that's a big dart, and a much needed dart, and it keeps him in the second set. This time it's his turn to punish mistakes. And Tricol could be 2 sets up, but he's got a bit of work to do here. Yeah, and a little sign of frustration. Joe Comito trying to fire himself up.
3-set darts missed by Thibaut Tricol.
58.
mentioned this, playing the 2 games in the same night, Dan, on the opening night. Won't be happening next year. Expand the field. 32 more players. She was a few more, I'd have a crack.
How many more?
140.
I don't want to say, but yeah. We don't want it to start in October either, do we? So let's crack on.
59.
Can Joe Cometo just boss a leg from start to finish and get it done quickly at the end, without the messing around on the doubles?
77.
You made a good point there, Dan, because that's what he did in the opening leg, didn't he? If he could just about, it was 17 down, but it was nice and clean, wasn't it? And nothing's come easy for him since.
81.
166 a bogey number, can't finish, so it's all about the setup here. The setup isn't great, but it leaves that 1-2-3, which he should have got a dart to take out at the start of this set. Missed a big number. But he put things right. He might need to.
59. Joey Maguire, 123.
Clearly go for it, but you feel he's got a couple of visits here. Yet to have a 10+ finish in the match. Treble 18 for Cometo. Yeah, that'll do, that's a good visit. He'll expect to return.
Maguire, 142.
Is it the 17s route again for Thibaut? No, went the 20s, that didn't work out.
90. Joey Maguire, 32.
To level the set. Decent attempt. Double 4, there's a grimace. But he finds the mark, and Joe Cometo takes us to a deciding leg, cheered on by Ben Robb, the New Zealand #1, who you'll be seeing in action here at Ali Pali this year.
He knows what it's like to play the opening game. With Mickey Mantle a few years back.
140.
Joe Cometo, credit to him. Not a lot was going right in this match. He was a set down, he was 2 legs down. He was missing dart after dart of doubles, but he dug deep to force a decider here.
43.
Well, there's not much between the pair of them. Look at the numbers, you even look at the finishing. Despite all the misses from Joe Cometo, Thibaut Tricol has been very profligate himself. Cometo may not be happy with how he's playing, but he should sense that Tricol is there for the taking.
60.
When you're set down in 2 legs down, Dan, it can be daunting if you're being blown away by your opponent. You can't see a way back. And Joe would have been obviously disappointed with the lack of double hitting, but he was getting the opportunities, wasn't he? And that's what is the tiny bit of encouragement he's took, and it's got him level, although he's got a lot to do in this deciding leg. And this is the brutality of set play. He's given a lot to this second set, and he could have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, he's not stood there hoping that his opponent's level drops. He's happy for Tricol to carry on playing like this all night, because he knows he's got the game to beat this, just hasn't produced it yet, and he's not producing it in this leg. Thibaut on for a potential 5-visit leg. We've not seen one of those in this game as yet.
Thibaut Maguire, 118.
Treble 20 should be the start, but he goes to the 18s. That leaves 100. That leaves tops. And that is the classiest moment of this match so far. Thibaut Tricol, the French touch, providing him with a 10+ finish to take a 2-0 lead in a race to 3. One more set required for Thibaut to be the first winner at this year's World Championship. And the game to follow this one, Jermaine Watermain, the machine gun, the European Championship runner-up. He's getting ready to take on the first ever Swiss player to feature at Ali Pali in Stefan Belmont.
Overall, this is going to be a great learning experience for Emma. Right down the middle! Beautiful shot!
from Austin Emma Williams. And that is enough. This is a big attack from Fisher. It's accurate and it's powerful, and the referee steps in with just a few seconds to go in the opening round, and that's what it
feels like he's making progress. Thibaut Tricol, not just in this game, but in general, Mark. He's got that platform you often talk about. Qualified for this relatively straightforwardly. Didn't look like he was in that much danger. Qualified for the Players' Championship Finals, which is where he beat Go and Price recently. He's doing what you kind of need to do to establish yourself as a player in your early years.
Yeah, he got his tour card in January. The aim 2 years later is to be in the top 64, so you not go back to Q school, and he's well on course. And that's why I say this is crucial, winning this game. Money jumps up to 15,000 minimum. If he causes an almighty upset later on, he could do it in this tournament. First and foremost, priority, get this match closed out.
Joe Cometo leaves 130, double chance shot. 2 darts at the treble 20. If one of them hits, he'll have a go at the ball.
95. Joey require 130.
To break back. Still got a chance. Still got a chance. The bullseye.
87.
He didn't want a bullseye in the previous leg, and he got one, needed it there, and he just pulled it low. Goal.
44. Joey require 43.
Cometo.
That double top again. Double 10. Joe Cometo breaks back.
Just a bit of confusion there, Tricol. But too eager, thought he had the darts.
Treble visit for Joe Cometo, backing up a 2 treble visit to start the leg. He might be having a little spell here.
For all the mistakes on the doubles, you can't lack the fight that Joe Cometo's had here. He's not going to go quietly if he's going to exit the World Championship in the opening game.
140.
This is impressive. 9 darts thrown, 87 remain.
Nothing coming back from Thibaut. With his head and shoulders above every other leg of this match in terms of the standard. Can he close it out? Double 8 for a 12-darter.
79.
Shaking the head, he wanted to take out that 12-darter and just really go on the attack again in the next leg. So much time though for Joe Cometo.
Best leg of the match, and Joe Cometo's produced it, and he leads in this set. Much more like it from the man from Harvey in Western Australia.
Strolled to the finishing line when he broke in the open leg of this 3rd set. Cometo coming back at him again. He got to 2 legs in the previous set, was against the darts in the decider. But going all the way in this set, Joe will have the advantage of throwing first. So guaranteed to throw for this set, unless he can do it in this leg.
37.
Impression Dan Tricol's not enjoying this, is he? He's 2 sets up, but he's not enjoying this game at all.
140.
Looks it easier. A lot easier. Second 180 of the match for Thibaut Tricol, his second of this set, in fact.
He'll enjoy that. Just giving him breathing space.
99. Thibaut, you require 108.
It's the beauty of set play, though, isn't it? Tricol wins this leg. He's 1 leg away from the match.
76.
It goes the way of commentary. He's got to find 3 legs again.
167.
To be some way to win your first set at the World Championship, wouldn't it? And it's on, treble 19. Oh. He wanted that, didn't he? You could see from the reaction. Burning to take that out.
They look awkward. They've kicked right. Well, getting involved. And he can't force his way through to goal. This for Joe to get within 1 set of Thibaut. Double 16.
36.
Marginally misses out.
Thibaut required 32.
Set dart missed by Joe Comito. Believe his luck.
Game on.
That's what I love about set play, though. They're so close to the exit.
137.
But then find a good leg, and he's made a decent start. You're well and truly back in the tie.
And the last few legs have started to arrive with a lot more regularity for Joe Comito. He's averaging 90 in this set.
46.
Kind of back to what you said earlier, Dan, about there are little moments where he can play to this sort of standard. He's done that on the DPA Tour to book his spot here. And he's shown glimpses.
100.
It's just the doubles percentage has let him down.
Удвоение 8, удвоение 4. Закрывается триколь. Счет 2-1 в третьем сете. И для Комита сейчас права на ошибку больше нет. Если хочешь одержать победу, как минимум, нужно забирать ближайшие два лега. Так еще и один из них с брейком должен быть, имеется в виду Десайдер. Четвертого сета, конечно же, не третьего.
Csak azt sem élőben közvetítette, ami a másik név, összekeverve, az élő közvetítések közben az élőben dobott 9 nyilasra vagyunk kíváncsiak, hogy azt kidobta. Ez a kérdés.
Hát ez teljesen érthető, világos, és
de csak én
jól értelmezhető.
Megnéztem a kérdéseket és a válaszok, és rendszeresen rossz válasz érkezik, de hogyha valaki rossz választ küldött, az
Но сейчас все в руках француза и два утроения. Очень нужно было бы в идеале два утроения крупных. Они есть у Комито 140.
140-et
Ну, хотя, конечно, понятное дело, что... Но Комита пока... Роман пишет, за Комита невозможно не бороться.
The quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup are coming your way next week. 4 all Premier League ties. We've got 3 for you on Wednesday. Arsenal Palace, Southampton Liverpool, Newcastle Brentford. Those 3 all live from 7 o'clock. And then on Thursday, Spurs, who knocked out Manchester City in the last round. Well, this time they faced Manchester United. 7 o'clock for that one as well, live for you. On Sky Sports Football, well, here at the Palace, Thibaut Tricol is our first player through to the second round. After a battle, really, with that man there, Joe Comito, Tricol on his second appearance at Ali Pali with a 3-1 victory. A 118 out from the Frenchman to clinch set 2. That was the real highlight. Komito, though, sadly, on his World Championship debut, bows out. Yeah, that man through to the second round. Confirmation then that he is in that next round for the second year running, and he doesn't have too long to wait for that second round tie either. The Frenchman faces the reigning champ, Luke Humphries, the world number 1 as well, in our last match of the night. Right, 3 matches still to come on the opening night here at Alexandra Palace. Coming up very shortly, we have Jermaine Watamina, who was the runner-up at this year's European Championship. He takes on debutant Stefan Belmont. Then we have Kim Huybrechts going head-to-head with King Barry. The winner of that one plays the former world champ Gerwin Price in the second round. And then, for the last match of the night, is now set. Humphries' title defence starts against Thibaut Tricol. For now, though, we're going to stick with the first round action and to a tie between Watamina and Belmont.
Quite simply, the biggest show on the planet. 85,000 fans will come through the doors. Expect the unexpected. Wow! A real party atmosphere at the Palace. Brilliant sportsmanship. Terrific fun. This is just theatre.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the action. You're joining us live on Sky Sports from the Alexandra Palace, London. The first round action of the Paddy Power World Darts Championship, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, on his World Championship debut, the first ever Swiss player to make it to the World Championship, a winner of 2 Challenge Tour, Switzerland's World Cup star, Stefan Belmont. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Netherlands, the European Championship finalist, a World Grand Prix and Grand Slam quarter-finalist taking part in his 11th World Championship, Machine Gun Jermaine Watamina!
Here we go then, our second match of this year's World Championship. We have Jermaine Watamina going head-to-head with Stefan Belmont. Well, what a year it's been for that man. He's unseeded, world number 36 coming into this, but arguably been playing some of his best darts. Was in his first major final this year. That was at the European Championship, where he lost in that final to Richie Edhouse, but he's also made the quarterfinals of the Grand Slam this year. You might remember that. He got Beaten heavily there by Luke Littler, but he did play well, to be honest with you. Littler was just out of this world. But he went out in his second round here last year, beat Fallon Sherrick in the first round before losing to Martin Schindler. He's up against Stefan Belmont here this evening, who makes his debut and makes a little bit of history as well. The first Swiss player to play at the PDC World Championship. The 35-year-old has picked up a title on the Challenge Tour this year and won the West Europe qualifier to make it here to the Palace. This then, our second first-round tie tonight, and the winner here, by the way, will play world number 16, James Wade, in the second round. To guide you through it then, I'll hand you over to John Park and Stuart Pike.
So here we go, another World Championship, another opportunity. All roads leading to January the 3rd. How much of a say will Jermaine Watamina have, as he has had a big say over recent months? Always difficult to start on the opening night. Of course, the highlight of which will be the world champ Luke Humphries later on starting his defence. But yeah, momentous moment for Swiss darts in that qualifier. Belmont beat the very talented Jimmy Van Schie 7-6 to get his spot at the Ali Pali. Van Schie missing a stack of darts. But looking forward to it, always a great day, always a great moment, day one of the World Championship at the Ali Pali. Luckily for me, John, my 22nd World Championship. I dare say you've been around a few more than that.
I've been trying at it one way or the other, yes, much longer than that, but it never gets old coming to the World Championship, and these days especially the Alexandra Palace. Just so iconic for us, and just the trip up the hill and everything else, it gets the goosebumps going.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing quite like the opening night, as you say, emerging up the hill to see the Ali Pali in the distance and all the livery of the sponsors and green all round the building. It just seems to grow and grow and grow year after year, without a shadow of a doubt. There's never been so many eyes on this World Championship. Everybody, of course, talking about the two Lukes, but I'm sure there'll be a few players with a lot to say between now and January 3, 2025.
It's a lot of opportunity here, and a great 180 there to pull himself back in to get first opportunity against the throw. Really good stuff. A nice answer to leave double, though. Jermaine's pretty cool these days.
Not in the leg until the last visit. Watamina has left tops for the opening leg. Just the wrong side of the wire for the Swiss Belmont.
80.
So a good hold.
A real strength of his game of late, getting those doubles hit under some pressure, and there was a little pressure there for sure. You don't want to start off your World Championship by getting broken the first leg, and Watamina avoided that fate.
It's a real Dutch renaissance, isn't it? The resurgence of Jermaine Watamina over recent months, getting to that European Championship final and great runs at the Grand Slam and again at the Players' Championship. And it's one of those sort of moments, isn't it, of where that came from. But it's all about perseverance and belief, and also the fact that still a very quick player, but he slowed down just a second, just a slight slowdown in his throw, and I think that coincided with the upturn in his fortunes.
Yeah, I think with that slight slowdown you're talking about, what it helps to avoid is when you start speeding up during a visit, dart to dart, and that's where you can really lose darts. And by just slowing down that little bit, there's more tempo to it, and you stay true to the tempo. And that's what he's achieved with that.
Incredible that 90,000 tickets were sold out in 15 minutes.
57.
They reckon they probably could have sold 5 times that on that fateful day, but those who are lucky enough to have tickets are going
Guard
to
them.
thoroughly enjoy their experience.
Guard your tickets.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're hard to come by, and if you don't have them, tough luck. It is the place to be.
The interest, there is a special flavour, a special feeling about this year for me, like none other, John.
There's so many different scenarios you could envision, and they all end up really, really spectacular. So I think we're pretty much guaranteed the highest entertainment here. Well, that was only a 2, but he's got him to this double 10.
That's a brilliant rescue. That really is a great finish from Belmont to win his first ever leg in a World Championship.
Well, he looks like he's here able to win, you know, and that's a big part of any debut is, it's great to be here. It's great to hit a 180 maybe, but being able to win a match, that's a whole other story. And he's probably feeling that he has that capability now.
He's here to play.
93.
He kind of has a steely look to him, a resolve about him that he is serious. Belmont.
134.
Watermain a big favourite. Hardly surprising after his recent run. Hoping to get himself into the world's top 32 after this World Championship. As previously mentioned, worth mentioning that the winner played James Wade, but it's also in that little quarter of the draw, that little section of the draw, which includes Peter Wright. Wade is 16th seed, Peter Wright down at 17th seed. And both those players at the moment are not in the richest vein of form, so there's an opportunity.
92. 170.
Well, he tried. You know, we'll give him credit for that. You know, and I think how he's playing, he's comfortable with whatever he might have to clean up. And a lot of the time it'll be a 25 after that, but 42, even better. You got more choices.
46.
It was a free hit
42.
at the 170. It's a free hit at double 16. And all 3 legs have gone with throw in the opening set. On the opening night of Jermaine Watamina of the Netherlands against Switzerland's Stefan Belmont.
I'm willing to guarantee there'll be like at least a handful of 170 finishes in this World Championship. At least 5. Come on, there's got to be.
I'm going 6 plus.
96.
Over 6, John.
Over 6.
Over 6 in the whole tournament.
Well, it would not surprise me in the least.
$10 Canadian is the bet, John.
I'm with you. I want the same thing, so no way. No way, Jose.
Let's see if Watamina can make his move here, put some pressure on Belmont. Represented Switzerland on 3 occasions at the World Cup of Darts.
58.
Yeah, that was a visit. He needed a bigger chunk off the score because Watamina is stepping right in to take full advantage.
140.
And 140 is enough to do that. Yeah. You know, he's really sitting pretty here now to take the set.
Let's give you a reflection on how well Watamina's played. I mean, especially over the last 3 months, but he's been okay for the year. He's averaged 95, 96 for the whole year in tournaments, and that is very good. This could be very, very good.
Well, what a save this could be for Belmont. Needs the 146 to hold throw and force a 5th leg. And he gave that every chance, but he's going to really have to hope for the unlikely, and that's a Watamina miss.
105. Many require 40.
For a set then. And no mucking around from Jermaine Watamina. And we've been used to seeing that fist pump regularly over the last few months. Watamina off to a flyer. Leads 1-0 on the opening night of the Worlds at the Ali Palo.
Higher than I've ever known. I'm feeling
Well, it is a Sunday night, so you know what that means. Plenty of NFL for you. They are in the fourth quarter of the live game right now. The Texans lead the Dolphins 20-12 at the moment. If you want to catch the remainder of that one, just head over to Sky Sports NFL right now. A little bit later on from 9:15, the Bills are at the Lions. And then later on, 1:20 in the morning, Packers are at the Seahawks. Well, here at the Palace, in our second match of the night, it is fairly routine, really, for that man right there, Jermaine Watamina. Stefan Belmont not really getting too many opportunities. It is the Dutchman, Watamina, who leads 1-0 in a race to 3. Let's see how the rest unfolds then and rejoin John and Stuart.
Thanks, Emma. Just looking at those NFL games. Hard to believe, John, that a week ago I was in Miami watching my beloved Dolphins win. And a week later, I'm at the fantastic Ali Pali for the start of the World Darts Championship. And
it's just all Christmas for you in December, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Both fantastic atmospheres. All very different, of course.
Yeah, maybe we could bring tailgating into darts. That would be fun.
You'd be leading from the front. Comfortable for Watamina, you think? The opening set, pretty much.
You look pretty good. The first couple of legs were 18 darts each. Each player had an 18-dart win, but then the Watamina had a 13 and 14 to wrap the setup in really easy-looking fashion. Let's see how we get off out here. I think getting that first set would really settle Jermaine, and especially because Belmont, he looked pretty useful and a danger. He wasn't just going to be rolled over here by any means. He still could rear his head up and take some legs and maybe a set.